In today's video, we are going to talk about the mistakes to avoid when filing DS-260. If you are new to this channel, my name is Sliman and I make videos for a family-based immigration to simplify the immigration process and give you a confidence to go through your immigration journey by yourself. First of all, I am not an immigration attorney. I'm here to help you based on the information I have from NVC website and also based on my personal experience. If you find this video very helpful, please subscribe, share, hit notification bell, and give us a big like so YouTube can share the video with more people. So if you're ready, let's get started. First one is full name in native alphabet. As you can see right here, full name in native alphabet. If you are not using Roman letter, you must provide the full name in native alphabet and must match whatever you have in your passport. And if you can read it right here as a note, data on this page must match the information as it is written in your passport or travel documents. What happened here? A lot of people, they get married, they change their name, and they do not change the passport. So, as I mentioned right here, this information right here must match the information you have in your passport. Now, let's go to next one, which is preview, email, and social media. A lot of people here, they don't like to give their preview emails or social media. It is very, very important to be honest and the information is accurate about your preview email and social media. For example, for social media, you have to add any platform that you've been used. Now, let's go to next one is mailing address. This one, it is very, very important and sometimes it will cause a lot of problem for you. Let's first talk about it. Is your present address where you want your permanent resident card mailed? Yes. If you answer yes, it's okay. That's not a big problem. But it must match the address of the petitioner, of your spouse. If you put something here different than your spouse, it is a red flag for marriage fraud. Because if you marry someone, you trust that person. You trust your spouse to send your green card there. If you put a different address, for example, if your spouse live, for example, in Colorado and you send the green card to New York, that's a fraud. That's a red flag for fraud. Because you should go to your spouse, not going to New York. You should go to Colorado, just an example, not New York. This, if your email address is not the same as your petitioner or your spouse, it is a big problem. Now, let's go to next one, occupation. Let's first talk about it. In which occupation do you intend to work in US? You answered yes. I'm sorry, you answered yes, student. You gotta remember, you will be asked this question at interview date. This is what happened, just give an experience right here. Most of the time, I would say not most of the time, a lot of time, the petitioner file DS-260 and just he put whatever in his mind. but he does not get with the applicant to see what occupation she or he, the applicant, intend to work in US. So if they ask the applicant at interview, in which occupation do you intend to work in the USA? And he told him, for example, engineering, just an example, or something else that is different than this question right here. That's a big problem. And my advice for people here, when you file DS-260, you must get the information for the applicant and put yourself as a preparer. We will talk about that later in this video. Now, let's go to the next one, which is educational institutions. Have you attended any educational institution at a secondary level or above? It is very important right here. When you put the numbers right here, you must put the numbers that you have a certificate or diploma, because you will be asked at the day of interview for certificate or diploma. Make sure you add whatever you have, not something you don't have. A lot of people, this problem happens all the time. You put the institution, but your diploma is not ready at that time. That's a big problem. You must put just whatever you have when you file DS-260. Now, let's go to the next one, which is traveling to different countries. So, a lot of people here, they don't like to include the countries that he or she traveled to. You must include that. It is very, very important to include that. They will find out, and it's going to be a big, big problem. So it will be better just to include it. Now, let's go to the next one, vaccination record. This is big, big, big problem, because a lot of people ask me this question. I do not have a vaccination in accordance with US law. I know that's for sure you don't have it, but US or embassy in your country has a physician panel that will conduct the vaccination that you don't have in your country. So you're not going to come to the United States without the vaccination in accordance with US law. So what do? You click yes. You must answer yes right here. Why? Because at medical exam, they will add any vaccination that you don't have in the United States. So basically, you will have the vaccination in your country, and they will add the vaccination they need at your medical exam. That's why they have the panel physician. Those panel physicians are in accordance with consulate or embassy in your country. So they give them the instruction what vaccination you need to add, to be the vaccination to be in accordance with US law. Now let's go to next one, which is who filed DS-260. I talked about this point just a while ago. Filing DS-260, you have two choices. You have petitioner, you have the applicant, you have an attorney. You have four: attorney, and you have a third-party agent. And you must select one. This is what happened. The petitioner filed DS-260 as the applicant. That's wrong, period. Do not do that. They will find out from a traffic. If you submitted DS-260 from the United States, just an example, and you put yourself as applicant, as applicant, and the applicant is abroad, that's a big problem, because they know the petitioner filed DS-260. That's a big problem. You must, if you file it as petitioner, you must put yourself as a preparer. Did anyone assist you in filing out this application? You must click yes, and then add yourself as a preparer. I'm talking here about the petitioner. You must add your full name, last name, organization name, street number, city, state, zip code, country, and relationship to the applicant. In this example, petitioner as a spouse. If the applicant filed DS-260, there is no problem because they will know from the traffic who filed this DS-260. That's my big advice here. Please, if you file DS-260 as petitioner, make sure you add yourself as a preparer and let the applicant knows about this question just I talked about. So this is the end of this video. I hope you like it. If you do, please subscribe, share, hit notification bell. Thank you and see you next video.